Right. Go ahead and give me a mic check for me.
Mic check 212.
I like it.
Yeah. What up? What up?
I like it.
Woo woo. if my mom calls, because so our family's heading out of town together.
Cool. Yeah.
But I think they were gonna pass by because when we're gonna get to eat. But yeah,
sure.
If they call, that's just tell them be like he's in.
We can take a pause, man. We're not gonna be live. We can pause and edit that out. Yeah. No worries, brother. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't like missing mama's call either.
Yeah.
I feel you. Cool, man. So what's up? We're here. I don't even know what episode we're on. This is the 210 show, sponsored by Bear Brand. We're here with a very special guest at Dallas Fort Worth area. Louie The Singer.
Yeah. What's up with it?
Very special, man. So we normally we've been interviewing a lot of local country artists, right? Traditional country artists, right? And here's Louie The Singer comes on the scene. Yeah, a little different.
A lot different.
A lot different.
We take
sure.
pride in that over here.
Hey, man, good. And I want to talk to you about those things too. But before we get into all of that stuff, the hype that you got, the hate that you get, right? I want to take it all the way back. I want to kind of do this like in a timeline. I want to know where Louie The Singer began, and we're gonna take it way back, bro, way back. Sure. Where did music start for you, Louie?
Man, music started for me at a very young age. I mean, like two or three.
Oh man,
my mom just told the story the other day, but I used to watch Garth Brooks growing up, bang the guitars on the stage and stuff, and I think music started for me with banging a guitar because he would run around singing, and it's funny is I don't even play the guitar. You know? I remember just watching that and being like, I want that. I want that. I didn't know what I wanted with music. And then I got
Explain to me that, though. What do you mean I want that? Like you wanted to be on stage and
it looked free. It looked worryless, if that's a word.
Yeah. We'll move around with it. Yeah.
Well, if it's not a word, it should be.
It should
worryless because we should all worry less.
I love that.
I think it was more the fact that just seeing somebody on stage and all that mattered was smiling and making other people smile. And that was kind of cool to me because the way I grew up, not everybody smiled. And not everybody I was looking at or was smiling, and neither was I. So it was just something that was different that it felt free. Yeah. And then as I got older, dance hit for me. Started dancing and like I got dude, my whole thing is weird. Like I wanted to be a DJ when I was like 12 or 13. Like it was a thing. I wanted to be a DJ and like involved in music. And then I got a little older, like 14. What's funny is people don't know this. I actually dance, like ballroom dance. Like I could even like French, Russian, and
man,
English
I was thinking
waltz.
Like you're gonna be breakdancing. I wasn't
expecting
check
this
ballroom.
out. I do actually. I was actually a halftime dancer for the Cowboys, breakdancing for 3 years.
Shut up.
2010, 11, and 12. Man,
we're gonna have to find some video on that.
I actually got it. I'm about to do a green screen and make a whole TikTok where I say I'm like when they don't know what all you did or something like that, just kind of walk off. And it's funny because I watch those videos now and I'm like, oh my back, like I can't even watch them without doing shit like that.
How old are you, man? If you don't mind me asking.
32.
Okay, cool.
32 years. I'll be 33 this year in May.
All right. Yeah, when you said my back, like I'm 34 and I feel that. When you said that, I was like, man, he looks a lot younger.
And the breakdancing is, like, I mean, not being funny, like there's video footage of my brothers. We all grew up dancing. And they'll tell you I used to jump off of bars, off of this, and I would land on my back and pop up. Oh, no. I have videos of me when I'm 16 doing them in a circle, like how they did it on Stomp the Yard. Get this?
Yeah. Where they're just like bouncing off.
The footage goes back before that movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was 16 years old. I lived in LA when I was 18. Like it's a whole thing.
Really?
Like
we're gonna get there.
The dancing thing took me on tour, man. It took me on, changed my life. I was on tour with.
Oh man, so let's backtrack a little bit then, because you grew up in Dallas Fort Worth.
I grew up in Fort Worth.
Okay, cool. So music, you wanna make people happy. You wanna make people laugh. 12, 14. I want to be a DJ. Dancing started at what age?
Man, dancing started like, I would say, like, okay, it started in different forms. Like when my mom, we'd be at family events. You know what I'm saying? And it got to where it's like, people wanting to dance with your mom. It's like, you want to, and she trying to get you out there. It's like, oh, all right, I'm going. And then eventually I'm out there. You learn how to just dance like everybody. Family stuff. That's how we do it.
And shit.
Yeah. Right. And so like when that happened,
Are we locked up? It's locked, right? That door's locked?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we're good.
Okay.
No, that's not us. Yeah,
that was the guitar player.
Is that your crew?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Here you go, bro.
Yeah, my bad. I just didn't want to stop it. But
no, it's all good. Cool.
It's like conversations.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, so it was weird because at one point we were like, just dancing. That's all it was. And I'll be honest with you, the real big part was the connection with my pops. My dad was a b-boy in the 80s.
No shit.
Me and my dad had a real rough banging when I started becoming a young man because we were so much alike to where if he bucked, I did too. And he was like, boy, who is you? And I'm like, man, I'm
I'm a man now, Dad.
Yeah, and it was not very good for me a couple times. You know, I wanted to mess up his car, and we did it together. All I'll tell you is that. Oh man, my dad was a different breed. You know, I love him, man. Rest in peace, his soul, man. He's probably laughing right now. Like, just go on with the interview, boy.
Right. We're talking about that shit.
So my dad and me had like this weird thing. I went to 12 high schools. I was like, I was
12 high schools.
I went to 12 high schools. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. So I went to 12 high schools.
Is it because you were getting in trouble and shit?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
I got kicked out of everything. I was involved in gangs and stuff like that.
Damn.
In high school,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
shit, man, you're doing good now.
Man, thank you. Yeah, no, my thing goes back, man. First time I was incarcerated was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was,
man.
You know, the whole juvenile thing. But I had 2 probation officers at 15.
Holy shit.
I don't say those things with pride. I say those to say this. Like, man, if anybody is like literally in a whole, like, no, I've already done this with my life, I can't do this with my life. Yeah. That's bullshit. Because I was told so many times, like, yo, Louie, like, shit, you're done, Louie. This is it. Tap out. And I'm like, you know what? For a while, I believed them, you know? And it was because the guy that I was then, that guy, he was tapping out. He was tired, you know? And he was telling the real me, like, yo, what are we doing? It's us or God, you know? So we went God's route, and here we are.
Hell yeah, man.
So, yeah.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So 14, you're looking at DJ stuff. You're getting in trouble. You're in juvie. How did you make it to go from 14 juvie, 12 high schools, moving to, you said, to LA at 18 to dance?
So the LA,
that's still an accomplishment, if you ask me.
The LA thing happened on accident.
Oh.
I was actually, check this out, shout out to my cousin Tank. So we told this story online the other day, and a lot of the fans have got to meet Tank at some of the events.
Nice.
And they ask, and we're okay with it, but so Tank and his family took me in when I was homeless when I was 17. I actually dropped out of high school when I was 17 years old, and we had a place called Echo Lake. It was a place where we would break dance, but it had a pavilion. My dad started teaching me how to do like the windmill and stuff like that because he could still do them. So I ran with it, man. I'm doing air tracks and like, you know, in high school. So now we had this place to practice, right? When everybody would leave, I would stay. I would act like I was waiting for my ride, and that's where I would sleep. And yeah, man.
At 17, bro.
17 years old. And
Holy
then my girlfriend at the time, which is now my oldest son's mother, you know, we're not together, but you know, we're good. I won't say we're good friends, but we get along. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of the kids. But at the same time, as respect, you know, from as her mother, she does an amazing job. But I used to sleep in her shed when I was, you know, running around.
Did she know you were there?
Yeah.
You were just sneaking in.
Yeah, no. Sadly, actually, when her mom would go to work like 5:30 a.m., she would come get me. And not being funny, it would be so cold. I would have every piece of clothes that I own on, and she would have to come get me sometimes because it was just cold. But after that, I was breakdancing, like literally. So with that being said, I don't have nowhere to go, right? So we went downtown to the Fort Worth Arts Festival, and I'm breakdancing. And this guy named Bruce Johnson ends up, fast forward, hearing me sing when I end up backstage with Prima J. So Prima J is an old girl group that was around early 2000s, and one of the girls ended up branching off and becoming our assistant manager. I was in a boy band called One Flow, and we lived in LA. My label mate was Becky G. And like, so she was in the girl group, and I was in the boy band, and we were under the whole same team. You know? So I ended up being blessed, you know, getting to know her early on in her career, and then, man, that's 2008. I ended up coming back. So this is exactly how and why it happened. And I'll give you the fast forward. I go out there to go pursue music. My mom tells me, you dropped out of high school.
So it wasn't even dance that got you to LA. It was music. Wow.
But watch this. It's dance that got me backstage. I was breakdancing, and this guy, so remember Hell Date? The TV show. So Hell Date was
I didn't
a
watch
TV
a lot
show.
of TV, to be honest.
So this TV show was like some where you were just had to act like a really bad date, but it was a prank on the other person. Well, this guy that played Michael Jackson on the show, we saw him in downtown, and my friend Clint, he goes out and calls him out dancing and stuff like that, and we all start dancing. And this guy tells me, he goes, "Hey man, that didn't hurt your head, whatever." He goes, "Well, if it did, here's a drink." I said, "Man, I'm only 18." He goes, "I didn't hear that." So we get some swigs. Fast forward, his daughter's Jessica, Prima J, the one singing from California. They're out here. They were about to perform the Cowboys game the next day. So he's like, "Yo, come back. We'll say your family." I'm like, "Back where?" He goes, "Backstage." I said, "Okay, cool." So we go back there. I asked them, "Can I sing the Prima J on camera?" And they're like, "Why? What do you want to get out of this?" And my boy Negro, Juan, he goes, "Man, just let him sing. You're in our city." And we sang. I sang this Usher song to her. And after that, she goes, Bruce, boom, fast forward, they moved me to LA.
Wow.
I'm in this boy band. It's crazy. My life just changes overnight. Dude, he asked me, what's your situation? I said, I ain't got one. I got a tattoo on my neck and I got nowhere to go. And so that's just what it was. I was broke. I had no GED, no high school diploma. I had nowhere to go. And, you know, my family was fed up with me, dog. They were fed up with me. I'm in and out of jail. Every time I pull up, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And
nobody even wanted to take you in anymore.
I mean, I don't blame them at this step. You know, I'm a grown man now, so if I look at it from their situation, hell yeah, man, you got to go. Like my dad had it right. He used to tell me all the time, man, go figure it out, man. Like, don't
go
do
become
that
a
shit.
fucking man.
Oh man, he say you want. That's what he tell me. You want to run like a man, go on like man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, don't do it here, boy. Woo, that's it. But you know, and he was right in a messed up way. He was right, but I ended up coming back because what I didn't tell the label when I moved out there was that I was going to be a father.
You had one on the way.
I was scared to tell him because I thought that would be, you know, I was already
that's the deal breaker.
And you know what's crazy is I remember being there and we start performing at Knott's Berry Farm. These girls are showing up singing our song, Shiny, Shiny. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. That's my first time experiencing it. I'm 18 years old and people don't realize that 6 months before that I was homeless.
Wow.
And these girls are now singing my song at Knott's Berry Farm, right? Mm-hmm. And then it hit me that my son, you know, is going to experience this life. It's fun. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I go to the studio the following week in Rancho Cucamonga in Upland, California, and they tell me, hey, they're waiting for you in the booth. And I said, Bruce, I want to talk to you. So we pull him aside, and we'll edit out his name due to, well, anybody's Bruce, fuck it. So we'll edit out his last name
Bruce
later.
Blank, yeah.
Bruce Blank. So Bruce ends up pulling into the room with me and goes, yeah, what's up? I said, hey, man, you know, I had already brought up that I was going to be a dad. At this point, we're a couple months into everybody knowing. Mm-hmm. At this point, they're stuck with us. So I was like, cool, we're in there. We'll get there. So
we're making money, so they ain't going
to they're not going to change it up yet. So I ended up telling them, you know, I want to go back 2 weeks before he's born to be there for her, and then a week after there to be here for his first days. And he gave me the most Hollywood answer that I ever hear. He literally said, Louie, I would wait to go because you're probably not going to be in his life the first 2 years. You've got to work, and you've got this coming now. So you'll be able to give him the life you never had, though. And he like dapped me up and goes, they need you in the booth. What? That was it. Straight Hollywood, man. And that's when it hit me that this industry does not care about nobody, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the dope game. The difference is the product. Drugs and music. That's it.
And that's a good way to put it.
Bro.
That's a really good way of putting it.
And you know, it's sadly enough, you know, I've lived in both, and it's very, very, you know, similar. Mm-hmm. But I made a decision when I got back, and I told myself I'd rather my son know who I am as a father than, you know, the world know me as an artist.
Hell yeah, first. Bro. That shit gave me chills, bro.
And you know what's crazy?
Let me ask you a question before you move on. So, like, man, you're 18, right? What was like? I respect the hell out of that, right? But at 18, your whole life's been fucked up. Now you're getting this incredible fame, right? I'm sure you were getting paid, right? What was going through your mind?
That's the part we weren't.
Oh, y'all weren't?
I mean, it was money, like we were taken care of, like it was money.
But it wasn't like ridiculous.
It wasn't, here's a check.
Got it.
It was like, yo, you're taken care of, you're in Hollywood, we're going to pay for everything. It was smoky mirrors. That's what it is. You know how it is.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
It was a grind too, I get it though, but.
Yeah. So with that, like at 18 years old, it almost feels like you're trying to get your life together. You're getting your life together. Now you're about to have a son. Like it took, I'm sure it took a lot for you to say, like it, I'm trying to word this question properly, right?
Was it hard enough? Like, how hard was it to go
to make that decision, right? Like, at 18 years old, to make the decision, say, I'd rather be a father than to get a career. Like, I don't know if a lot of men can make that decision. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm finally getting my life together. Yeah, in 2 years, I'm gonna be able to be the best dad in the world. That maybe this is the better opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of people would. I don't know.
I think a lot of people, it would be hard for them to make it, but for a real man, it's not. No, and I wasn't one yet, but that's
what I'm saying. So that's kind of where my question was leading to. Is like, was the decision about like manning up because you feel like you haven't been?
I can't tell you that for sure, but I know it was about him, and I knew that I didn't want to just leave him hanging because I know what that was like, and I was alone around that time, and I think, man, I never even thought about it until now, but I think that's what it was. I was alone. And
yeah,
I didn't want him to be.
You didn't want him to feel what you felt.
Yeah,
I feel that, man. I respect that. I respect that a lot.
Wow, never thought about it.
I appreciate you sharing that, man.
No, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So you're 18. You decide to move back home. So the contract just ends, I'm assuming.
No. So I go back, and there's an artist by the name Snow the Product.
Okay.
Living in my city at the time. We become cool. She's got wakeitgameup.com. I start promoting. Hey guys, sorry, you know the boy band end, but I'm gonna go ahead and go live over here. Cease and desist. Oh man, they hit us quick. So long story short, we go over the paperwork with an attorney, and they said you can't sell music. Wow. You're done. They own your likeness for this and that. I said, cool. So we said, cool, we're about to give away free music. So I did it for a year until they let me go. They were like, I mean, they were trying to book One Flow.
Yeah.
One Flow can't go if Louie ain't going, you know? So it was just a thing where it was like, yo, he's done.
Yeah.
And, you know, his
Let's get him the
family
fuck
back
outta here.
home in Texas is taking care of him to where it's like, I don't know what happened to him in California, but we got him. You know, so, you know, back, you know, he's in Texas now. So
damn,
I came back home to work with an artist by the name of Smooth Vega. You know what I'm saying? And so Smooth Vega was already connected into the city very well, you know, accoladed still to this day. One of the biggest promoters to come out of the city. He ended up taking me under his wing, right? Again, before I left, I was under him for about 6 months, kind of like hanging out, coming around, and had big goals for myself or whatever, and they still did their thing. I come back, I work with him for about a year. Okay. You know, me and Adrian Garza start getting together. He's playing shows with me and stuff like that, and we're figuring it out. We're doing high schools and stuff, you know? And then bam, YouTube for me starts going. I drop a song called Superhero. It's like one of my like cheesy, you know,
and this is like still super R&B.
This is 19. Oh, this is stuff. Oh yes, this is pop, little like Lover Boy, like oh, you know, that type shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is my lane. And then we have uppity stuff. I got the homie. Now we've got like this little independent label, and we're doing I was doing the House of Blues at 20. Wow. You know, and we're doing high schools, you know, like with autograph signings, malls with autograph signing, and it's just because MySpace and YouTube starts going, and you're
one of the first people on there, so you're
talking about 2009.
Yeah,
if you were dropping a video in 2009, it looked either like two things. It looked like a legit video, or it looked like your homeboy's Android phone. You know, and we've all had, you know, coming up in this game, we've all had videos like that. So I'm not gonna talk shit. I know somebody gonna pull up a clip right now and be like, "Oh yeah, remember?"
And I'm be like, "Shit, I can't even." Tell
I know. Yes, so it's cool. So I mean,
you got to do what you got to do, right?
Hey, when you got a budget, you do, and when you don't, damn, you don't.
You do what you can with what you have. I feel you. I feel you. So you were getting that prime real estate on YouTube, and that kind of helped you blow up.
Man, so that was we just painted it right. For an independent artist in 2009 to have it painted the way we did was just, I mean, the merch tables, everything you saw today, like today, that's common if somebody was, you know, to be on a road tour.
For sure,
this. We had that going on about 11 years ago with no like big attachments aside from, hey, we just came back off of a deal coming from LA. We painted it right. Smooth Vega was a smart dude, and we did it right.
Awesome.
Then bam, phones started ringing again, and Playing Skills from Dallas ends up on the phone. And
who's this? I'm sorry.
Playing Skills. They're Grammy Award winning producers from Dallas. So
okay.
Got Money, Chameleonaire. They've even got from Dave. Now it's even crazier. From Daddy Yankee, his legendary album that just dropped. They produced a lot of those records.
Oh wow.
Or for sure a couple, but I mean Nicky Jam. They're very well calculated. So
got it.
They find me through YouTube, right?
Okay.
And we have a couple meetings, and I remember they get into an argument because they told Smooth Vega, he's not as good as the other guy that we have, but we were interested. Vega goes, cool, you heard that. They don't think you're as good. Let's go. We dipped. And then they go, well, we need to talk. Fast forward, we were like, pull up to the House of Blues, and we'll talk. After that, we had a little bit more of the leverage.
Got it. Yeah.
Fast forward, this is how bad shit works. Me and Smooth Vega have a fallout. No. So out of impulse, I jump into a bad deal with Playing Skills. Not a bad deal, like to where like they just screwed me over.
But you lost the leverage, and so you're coming in begging, but
so to speak.
Gotcha.
I looked like a lonely dog without a home, and they were like, "Oh, come here! I got the kibbles and bits." You know, I'm sitting here just like,
I'm hungry, dog.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm broken. I'm confused. You know, and it was just like one of those things where it was just a young learning experience.
You're 20, right?
21 now, so dumbass. I'm drunk.
You're still young.
Now I'm drunk legally, and it's just dumber, you know. So
making deals while you're drunk and shit. Yeah.
So I end up signing with them. I'm 21 years old. And it was based out of Dallas. My life was literally Monday through Thursday, studio from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day.
Holy shit.
4 days out of the month for 5 years straight, we would be in LA writing at Sony. Man, I got to work with everybody from Paris Hilton all the way down, bro. Like, wow. So that ended up bringing me back out to, I ended up doing 9 cities in Mexico with LMFAO. Remember them?
Yeah.
Party, rocket. Bro, it's really like that every time they take shots, bro. Like, I promise you, thinking about those days, I'd literally get nauseated. Like, just like, oh, Patron, no.
Still thinking about him.
I can taste the Patron now. I don't even know how that just happened.
Oh man! So you're back. So you're touring now. You're with this new label with the unfavorable deal, right? How long does that last?
That lasted me up until I was about 26. Mind you, in between that, I I end up losing my family. I'm not.
And what do you mean? Like you mean your son?
People didn't know that I had a girlfriend and a son at the time. We had hit that, and the label when I was with Playing Skills was real big on that too. You know, I'm the R&B dude. I got to sing to girls and make it whatever. You know,
it takes away from the attractiveness.
Yeah, right? It makes they want to feel like they
got a chance.
You know, and that's a good that's a good thing because you never know you might. You know, and so it was one of those things where whenever I parted from her, it showed in my real life. I end up getting with my backup dancer.
Get out.
So now this is where we get into, and I guess not chapters, but we'll call it baby like mama number 2.
Oh, no. Oh.
So this is the mother of my beautiful son, Axel.
Okay.
So this pretty little thing from West Texas comes on down to Dallas.
You're 26 now.
At this time I'm 22.
Oh, we're still in the label.
I'm 22. I had just got off the tour with LMFAO. Watch this. I wasn't even supposed to be on that tour. The guy that was originally going to be on there had some personal family things that I won't disclose, but he couldn't make it 2-3 days before. But the thing is, and I'm going to keep it 1,000. This is me. I love this part. Watch. I was in a fucking robot suit.
In a
fucking Iron Man robot suit, bro. To start off, that's why. Look, Play goes. This is the story. Play's in his room and he's like talking to his girl at the time. He's like, I don't know who I'm gonna find that's gonna fit in this suit that can dance like G. And then she goes, how tall's Louie? He goes, I don't know, like Greg's. Oh shit! Texts me. Hey Louie, come to the studio earlier.
Come try the suit on.
He goes like, no, he like that would have been cool. That sounded like some Iron Man shit. I'd have been like, I'm on my way now, like So I was like, yo. He texts me. He's like, yo, I need you to come. I just pictured in my head how he talks. He's like, I need you to come to the studio tomorrow. I need you to come a little early, maybe an hour. I want to talk to you about some things. Okay. I'm like, all right, cool. So we pull up and I talk to him and he's like, look, I know I signed you as an artist, but I need a favor. And Louie, he's like, look, Louie. And in my head, I remember, this is where he's going to convince me. In my head, I'm like, do I have a fucking choice?
Right.
I knew I did it. So I was like, yo, he goes, look, Louie. There's times, in this industry that, so you got to bend, and when you bend, sometimes people remember that. It's one of those times no one remembers, Louie. Like, I need you to put
Lou, can I call you Lou?
Lou, can I call you Lou? It got that serious, He did the hand thing. Yeah. And so I was like, sure, what do we got? When he broke it down to me, I remember going, wow, this is some bullshit. Like, all right, cool. Fuck it.
Can I get a bonus?
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, you said bend, not forward. I didn't know it was forward. He fucked me. So I said, cool. So we do it, man. And it was cool because I get out there. 9 cities, 40,000 people a night. We're on a private plane in another country, right? They got my passport in 2 days. I've never seen that done.
Damn.
He goes, Louie, there's 49 people on this tour. I want to talk to you real quick. Come here. Come inside. And then he repeats it. He goes, Louie, there's 49 people on this tour. I'm going to be honest with you. You're number 49, bottom total pole. Don't ask for shit. And I swear, he told me like this. He was like, if those ain't your bitches, you don't fuck they bitches.
Don't touch nobody,
you don't drink they drinks. You don't do they drugs. I'm telling you. This is none of your shit, okay? Yeah. And I remember being like, damn, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was more like, hey, Louie, thank you for doing this for me. Yeah. It was like, yo, don't touch nobody's bitches. I'm like, what the hell? This is my first time on a major tour.
Right.
On a major tour, So it's like, okay,
you're
cool.
A peon here, bro. Just
yeah, but I got to see how it was done. You know what I'm saying? So, man, and it was a great experience in my life. Watch this. I get out there, the second one in. After the after party, Quest crew from America's Best Dance Crew was their backup dancers. I end up going at these fools. Dog, when I tell you I used to get down, bro, I used to get down. So, man, Play knew it too, and I had control, so I could do it in a small circle. I remember they were calling us out. We're at the tent after party. It was just kind of like, all the girls are like, look, they don't dance. And I'm like, I do. Shit. I had already got cleaned up, because I was in a robot suit sweating and shit. So I had to get clean.
Did they at least let you get the suit off?
Hey, at the one point, I had only one little chain. I had a ring and a watch. And it was a big old fossil watch. And I remember just sitting there like, man, I got to look cool. And then I'm like, damn, I'm getting called out in breakdancing. This is not the kind of after party I pictured in my head. Yeah. This is not like the movies.
I'm right back at work.
I'm like, this ain't like the movies. So we end up battling. Fast forward, Red Food comes and the one with the big red hair. He comes and breaks the ice and does like a head spin because at this point his dudes are getting smoked. Yeah. Right. I end up running into him in the hotel the next morning. They push everybody back from the elevator so he can get in, and I scoot back and he goes, "Oh no, he's with us." He lets me go in there. I remember being like, "Fuck, Play's gonna be so pissed if I even say hi." Yeah. Louie, but how'd you say hi? You know, I could see just somewhere going wrong.
In your mind, like, I'm number 48 now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm 48.
Somebody just dropped.
I'm like, moving on up.
Yeah.
You know, there's only 9 shows. I might make it number 40. It might be good. You know, I can tell 8 people what to do. So I ended up getting in this elevator, and he literally goes, hey, man, how long you been dancing? I said, man, I've been dancing for a while. He goes, man, you made my guys look pretty silly last night. He goes, you know, we're hiring for the Party Rock crew. If you ever want. I said, man, thanks. He goes, so what do you do for them? Just the dance? I said, honestly, I'm their artist. I sing. He goes, oh, keep that up. He got off, and I remember being like, I have no idea why the elevator went to the top floor first. What the fuck? I got to go all the way back down to 3. So we go to the bottom, and I remember being like, I don't know. I don't even remember seeing that light. Like, his room just popped up. It was weird. And so we end up, I have a meeting from Play. I get a call. He calls me. He goes, "Yo, what the fuck did you say to Red Food?" And he goes, "I got Ian calling me on their manager." He's like, "I got them calling me. Like, yo, look, we need to talk. We ran into.
Told you not to talk.
I need to talk to you. You know." He's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I didn't do nothing." So we sit down. Fast forward. They said, "Hey, why don't y'all make y'all set longer? Take Louie out the suit afterwards, so he'll do, and now he can break dance on stage too."
Wow.
So now their sets longer. We're going to the mall. They're buying me track outfits. So now I can come out there, and when plays do it, they're doing the drops. Do do do. I'm on my hands with my feet. Do 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 do. And plays like this, and it's a do 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 do. Go boom 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 boom.
That's incredible.
You know, it was just and I tumble, so the flips and stuff. So it was just entertainment.
Yeah.
That was my way in. Third show. There's an after party, and I hate to say it because my baby mama did. I'm not with now, and I'm sorry. She's probably gonna be like, that cheating asshole. There was a bunch of girls that came back to the hotel, and there was a piano, and I remember being drunk. I'm like, hey, I could play that, and Q was
that
like,
was alive.
It was not.
No, so you did play piano?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
I was like, yo, let's go. I know some chords. We'll sing. So I go over there and I start singing, some Usher stuff, whatever. He runs and tells Ian, that guy sings too. Calls Play. Play goes, yo, what the fuck did you do last time? I'm like, here we go.
47.
They were like, yo, you should try to, incorporate this. So we talked about different things. It never really got to me being on like another tour like that with them again, doing all this. But what happened is right at the end, Play goes, when we got back, Play thanked me and everything and goes, yo, what do you think about finally releasing your first single? And my first single ever hit radio with Baby Bash when I was 21.
No shit.
That's how it happened.
With Baby Bash?
So remember the old song Heaven by New Flavor back in the 90s?
Yeah.
We redid it, reproduced by Playing Skills, featuring Baby Bash. And I was 21.
Shit.
We dropped the video. And I actually got interviewed by Homie Marco here at 98.5.
Really?
About 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, so here we are, man.
So 21, recording your first single, still with this label, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I think we got enough of the baby mama. You know that happened.
Oh,
you had baby number 2. Congratulations.
Damn. Congratulations.
Congratulations. It happens how it happens. So now let's move up. You said that you were with that label to 26, right?
Right.
So what happens after that?
At 26, I released my first single, but at this point in my life, I'm just like lost. I was told. So
In what sense lost?
So after I released that single in my early 20s, around 23 years old, I stopped doing music with like the label and stuff like that. I fell into it. When I left one situation, my money was cut off. It was set up for a certain living situation, a certain way. I moved with a backup dancer. I got a regular job, but then my old ways kicked back, and there was no way I could do that. Got involved back in the wrong stuff, and at this point, at 26, man, I'm in my own 2-story crib. Two of the people that live with me, they're girls, and just all involved in the wrong things. And you couldn't tell me nothing. It was bad because I released my single. I'm off contract now, doing what I do. Rhonda Moore, Little Twist from Lil Wayne's label.
Oh yeah.
So Twist's mom and their management, David Smalls, which is Justin Timberlake at one point, his entertainment attorney, they get a hold of me. So now I signed a deal with them for about 6 months, do a little management thing. I was just very reckless, man. I told people when I was off contract at that point, and it got really bad.
You felt like I'm on top of the world looking down right now.
Really, no. It was just like, look, if y'all gonna work, like I just was fed up with the industry. But it was like, man, I just want to sing, and I was putting out songs. Yeah. When I turned 27, that's when shit hit the fan. I got caught finally, and it was a manufacturing delivering charge. Ooh. And at this point, I'm already on probation for a bar fight with my cousin. So my older cousin and me get into a fight. This fool, I went to jail. He went to the hospital. That tells you how that went down. I ended up getting probation. I ended up going to jail for manufacturing, delivering, and since I caught a felony on the felony probation, I went to prison for both. There's no probation for Mandel.
Yeah, that's it. You're going straight.
So there was a lot of things. There was talk about me involved in certain things in the city, but I was an R&B dude, ran around singing and stuff like that. So it was never really like a question. But then when it
was kind of like expected. You're saying?
No, it wasn't. That was the whole problem.
Oh,
I mean, put it this way: you never saw me post about drugs online, but
a
lot of people would kind of shame my name and say that I was involved in a lot of things.
And then you confirmed it.
Well, some of it was true, some of it wasn't. Which there's a lot of speculation. A lot of speculation about me being involved with certain things that aren't true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's always going to be people talking shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just adding to the narrative or adding to the story that just random false shit that ain't true. But, yeah, it was pretty much all the people that I let a lot of people down. A lot of people were like, "Yo, man," like, I was like, "No way, no." And some people were like, "We told y'all." And I let a lot of people down, my kids, and I get out of jail.
At what age?
I bonded out about a couple weeks later. Right?
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't let me out, so they let me out. I got a bond. I get out, and you tell yourself you're gonna do right, whatever. Mm-hmm. Dude, I got out, and at that point in my life, I'm telling you, I wasn't one of those guys. I got out, and I was like, man, I got to get back to my bag.
Yeah.
So I got back to the hustle. So, that's what it was. I had already been in and out, So first time I went for drugs is 17 years old in a stolen car, bro.
Fucking A.
So I ended up coming out, and I'm like, yo, fuck it, let's get to the money. And God was like, you ain't had enough, huh? So then he took my father with the drug. That same drug that put me in prison is what took my dad.
No way, man.
So
I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
No,
this is you're 27.
27, and that was it for me. That was like, so I thought, and for the time being, I just lost myself. He was supposed to ride this out with me, but that was kind of, and it sounds weird. It's like a boy thing to say, but
yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, I've got two myself, man. I know what that.
Yeah, it's like you feel bad, but at the same time, like he ended up, he did, and I felt abandoned. Whatever, I go on the run. Here comes baby mama number 3. So I meet her right before I go to prison. And she comforts me. I'm out of town, hiding. Bam, come in town, somebody snitches me, man. They surround my grandmother's house. You're talking about, they had state police. They had, there was 4 units altogether, and it was really crazy because I was like, bro, chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm barefooted.
Let me put my socks on.
Man, they had my family all on the front lawn, man. They had all everybody that had left that house within the hour was pulled over and held by officers.
Damn.
It was just because low key I was exploiting it. Like I'm on the run. I was promoting shows, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm promoting shows. The state police guy that took me in, he goes, "Hey man, riddle me this." And it's funny because I say that now because of him. He says, "Riddle me this." And I'm in like an unmarked car like this, and he's just talking to me, and I'm like, this might be my last free world conversation, so I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So he ends up telling me, he goes, "Hey man, I went to that Trees venue in Deep Ellum to go get you, me and my partner. Why you ride?" He goes, "You do R&B music. Why you got 15 guys with you?" I said, "Man, that ain't got nothing to do with you."
Yeah.
So it was just like really funny, and it was an eye opener, dude. I go to prison, and it's 2018. I go to prison. I'm thinking, hey, I'm up for parole. First time down, I'm going home. Denied.
Ooh.
1 year set off. When I read 1 year set off, I said, what the fuck does that mean? They go, it means a year set off. What the fuck does that mean? I wanted them to tell me, oh, in a month we'll talk to you.
Yeah,
okay. Because, man, they said you got to wait a year. I said, you kidding me?
Man. And so you were already in for how long at that point?
It had just turned 2019, so like 4 months.
Okay.
So I was like, damn, man, I'm about to make it. Fuck no. Give me a year set off. So then I'm up for parole.
And that means you're doing a whole nother year before you even get the opportunity.
For parole,
got it.
So the end of the year came up, and like you're up for parole like before, like your review's up earlier, so that year mark hits, they have an answer already. Got it. So it's coming up, and I'm like, yeah, denied. I said, what the fuck, man? I got a 3-piece. They want me to do the whole thing.
Oh my
Shit.
Gosh.
They have a short way in Texas. What that means is your halfway mark. If it's a non-ag case, mine was drugs, and then the assault was no weapon. So it was just, it's not ag.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting my short way, but I had.
So at 18 months. Right?
Yeah, at 18. But 4 units in, dude, you're talking about through summers in prison, 112 degrees in a dorm. Oh my goodness. I get out in 2020. I got three boys at this time, and my fourth son was born a year later. I got 4 boys, and
that's awesome. That's a squad.
Yeah. So this is where it gets to how the country happened. So when my dad died, before I went to prison, I did a song called "Glad I'm Home." And he worked in the oil rigs in West Texas, and truck driver before that. But his thing was, "I'm glad I'm home." He would like to just sit and drink with us in the front yard. That's what we did. Hey, come by, man, have some beers. I'm on the way with a 6-pack already. Shit.
I love it.
That's how it was. Me and my pops were like brothers, man. And he had me when he was in high school. So did my mom. They had me like real young. And I made that song, went to prison, came back, and I would find myself grieving because I remember getting a text. And it wasn't my mom's fault. They just had a lot going on. And at this point for them, my dad had been gone 2 years. For me, it had been a couple months. And so when I got home, she had made a text to me. My brothers was like, "Hey, y'all got to figure out what y'all gonna keep out of y'all's dad stuff and what y'all not." And I'm like, "Damn, that just sounds bad, you know? Oh, what you're gonna donate and what you're gonna not." I'm like, "Damn."
Right.
And she was called me and she goes, "Well, I didn't mean it like that, but it's been up there for almost 2 years, for about 2 years." And I'm like, for me, it's been up there a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, this is hard, And I found myself at bars all the time, right? And there was this bar, I'm not going to say what it's called, but I'm at a bar and I end up playing on the jukebox through the app. I paid 10 credits for Drink a Beer by Luke Bryan, and I said, "Fuck it, we're going in today, bro." I sit there with my beer and I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to give it one. I'm like, man, and this is the old Louie, the first vato, dog. I'm like, I'm already like, I don't have jewelry on.
His ass.
Oh, man, it ain't even that. I'm like, I'm just ready, man. I'm hurt and I'm just let it out, The first time the song plays, I'm up to the side. The second time it plays, the bartender's like, so he's cleaning. It's a little harder now. And he's like, serving drinks a little faster. The third one plays. Boom. He goes, "Son of a bitch." All right. Hey, look, excuse me. I remember kind of glancing up like, shit, maybe I can hide it. There was 3 people there, including me. And it wasn't them ovatos because they're looking around pissed too. Yeah. So he's like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I know you're probably going to, how many credits did you put so I can pay you back? Because I'm going to have to listen to this." Now, I said, "I put 10, bro." He goes, "Fucking dude, hey, I mean, come on, man. If it's going to be like that, I was like,
listen to this shit in your car, bro."
Yeah. So then I wrote a song called "I Do It Anyway," and it starts off, "I'm trying to drink a beer while drinking beers on the jukebox." And it was about my father, and it was just
that's what that song's about, man. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it's about my dad. It's pretty much saying I've always, I always know that it's not going to change nothing, but I do it anyway. So I'm here drinking.
I love that, man. So you write all your music?
All my music, yes.
I love that. I wanted to get into some questions about that a little later. Let's take it all the way, not all the way back, but and there's a lot of young musicians, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people following you, a lot of young guys who are like, man, I want to be where he's at.
Right.
If you had to give one piece of advice to somebody on the come up, like what would it be?
Bro, I'm on the come up too. Like straight up, don't ever look at it like, man, anybody's further than anybody, because tomorrow you could have a song that just hit 10 million views. That's the world we're living now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he could be viral for twerking because he's a great twerker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you talking about Tones?
Mondo.
Oh.
It's the hair. That's what it is.
It's the hair. Is that what gets
once
him going?
He greases it up? No, but like, I don't know. Like, Josh could go viral tomorrow. We don't know. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I just feel like, like if you ever graph yourself off what somebody else is doing, you're never gonna excel. Like, I literally like our team right here, we stay in a circle in conversation about what's going on and what's next for us. It's just like in a race, you got to be focused on what you're doing, because if you look over, you might trip. You know what I'm saying? Or like guess what? I mean, if you look over, you might not like it because I'm not looking over. It's not one of those things where we walk away and it's like, is you looking back? Is you looking,
it's
like,
looking at me too.
I'm not. I'm moving forward. And that's what you should do too, because
I like that.
I wasted a lot of time doing what other people wanted me to do and dress how they want me to dress and be who they want me to be, and it's not that no more.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's really good. Going on the same line of that question, what's the best piece of advice you've been given, two-part, in the music industry and in life in general? Shit,
man. In the music industry, really, there's just been, I've learned so much in the music industry that I've probably forgotten more things than I've ever be able to teach. But I can say for sure in the music, a lot of my mentors, numero uno, it's tatted on my arm. They said number one. And you know what's crazy? I tell you this because, watch this, something I lived off for such a long time, the moment I let it go was my biggest help. It was the biggest thing for me. I used to live off of what they would tell me, numero uno, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will ever do for you without expecting something back out of love. There's no such thing. It's always about number one. It's always about you. That's how you succeed, Louie. And I tried it. It's not how it works.
I agree.
It's not how it works. Numero uno makes no sense, dude. And I wear that proudly because it's like, it's a reminder, like, yo, you're not in this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Especially if you want to grow. They say, I had this one dude, and I thought this was so cool. He said, well, no, you can, man, independent. Cool. I said, there's no such thing as a table with one leg. He goes, I've seen it. I said, show me a big one. He goes, well, no. I said, that's what you trying to eat on? I said, man, that looks lonely. He said, well, I mean, shit, man, it's my money, it's my food. I said, well, shit, die with it.
Yeah.
I said, I've seen what money can do to people. I used to have a lot of certain type of money. You know what I'm saying? That went as fast as I got it. Yeah. You know, and then a lot of the friends with it. You know how many people got tatted on me that some people say like this, damn, man, you scared to die at this point? Shit, I got half my loved ones waiting on me. Half the people I miss. The people that were really there. Like, yeah. Man, I lost a lot of people to this dope game, man. Like, you're talking about overdoses, deaths. Like, man, last 2 years since I've been home, even when I was in prison, I lost homeboys, man, that I came home to that I couldn't even believe. Yeah. I remember going to certain homeboys' grave sites together with friends. That group of people is now just me and one other dude sometimes when we have, time and we see our kids run around. Right. We've even texted. It's depressing. We don't like going. All our homeboys, and now our kids are going to get older. Hey, how did he die? How did he die? I don't want my kids to know those stories. Right. You know, so, and in life, I guess my best piece of advice would be, I don't know, just maybe shit, something I thought of recently. I guess if you ain't gonna live life right, live it like you like shit. You know, I mean, I guess. I mean, if you're gonna do it if you're not gonna do it the complete wrong way, you might as well do it the complete wrong way. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna do it the right way, you might as well just fuck it all the way up. Yeah. But no, honestly, man. Life ain't what
I don't know about that one, man.
I heard an old school kid. He said, life ain't what you make, it's how you take it. And I always kind of ran with that too. But man, there's so many things I've learned, dog. My mom, my dad, bro, like I couldn't even tell you, man. I'll tell you like this, man. Don't go off my life, go off your own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just because fuck, you would not like what you see over here. Yeah. I made a lot of bad mistakes.
But you're making up, man. I think you're working really hard. I only found you a few months ago, to be honest, on TikTok, man, which is kind of crazy because when we wanted to start doing a podcast, we were getting equipment and learning things, and then I'm on TikTok, right, looking at different artists, and you pop up. I was like, man, this guy's got some cool style, man. He's got a great voice. And then shit, a couple months later, here we are, which is kind of cool, man. Dope.
Yeah. And I've only been doing the country thing for about a month. I mean, a year. Damn.
Right. Yeah. That kind of leads into what my next question is, man. So you're R&B hip hop, right? Like big influence R&B hip hop, right? What's the transition, man? Explain to me this transition into country, because you get a lot of hate. You get a lot of hate for it. It's like, oh, bro, that's not country.
You see the comments?
Oh, I see all the comments. I watch your videos enough to know that you get a ton of hate.
And what's crazy is the ones that go viral are the ones with the hate comments. Yeah, they get millions of views. That's weird how it works.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Come on now.
So what's that transition? And explain to me that, because it's really a subgenre of country, right?
Here comes the breakup question. So that's what it was. That's what led it to here. About 2 years ago, I meet my ex who does music too, or she did music or something like that. And she had a musical talent, I guess we could say. Okay. We end up going to the studio. We work together and stuff like that. And fast forward, we fall in love. We got real close. And when we got close, shit hit the fan. Dude, within 2-3 months, bro, I flew her out here. I said, live here. She didn't have to work. She didn't have a job anyway. She didn't have a car. I had a couple vehicles. I said, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Love her. I'm in love. I'm like, oh my God, I got a girlfriend.
I'll do everything for you.
I got a girlfriend that sings. We just in love. We're in the booth. No, dude, our dates were studio. We're at the studio, like so cheesy. Like we'd be in the studio and it'd be like, here's one mic. and her too, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god.
And this is
like,
still hip hop R&B shit.
Hip hop R&B.
Okay.
So it's like Janae Aiko, but we're like she's the rapper singer, you know, and I'm the R&B dude. But it worked, right? I had just came home, so people were ready to throw up a couple checks, you know, these independent like labels, like they're sub labels. Yeah. Hey, here's 5,000.
We're excited for you to be back in the game.
What? Here's 5,000. Give us a couple records, and we'll make the money off of this one, and we, you know, you everything's yours afterwards.
Right.
Well, little things like that. So I was like, well, let me take this group that me and her have, because when I got out, me and Adrian had did a couple of TV performances and stuff like that. Okay. But the R&B stuff, and it got to the point where I needed a change, a rebranding moment. So I felt like that was it with her, right? That was a restamping moment in my damn heart. I mean, going out food and said shit. So I got my karma, bro. I was a womanizer, a liar. I was a piece of shit, fool. Like, I mean, no, like bottom of the man. And you know, sometimes I get drunk and might want to be sometimes too, but I can't, because I know I wake up being like, ugh, you sucio, you did it again, fool. God, we have no dignity or boxers now, you know. Oh, no. But no, I fell in love real quick, man. You know how that happens, and that's how it happens, because you can't get karma without being really attached. It's not like God knows you can't be like, hey, I really kind of like her, like screw me over here so I can go get something. Right. I got really attached, and she got me times 10 how I did every woman in my life. No. Imagine getting that from one girl. No. I was like, what's up, food? Like this whole, you know, my strongest soldiers go through the straw. I was like, I don't remember signing up for that shit. Like, was there a paper I signed up there? Because y'all slid that in, you know? It must have been, they must have took the hype paper out and were like, put in strongest soldier. What the fuck? I was just flipping and writing, hurry, I'm trying to get there. You know? Mid 1990, you know? So I ended up going through that. Dude, I'm posting videos on the floor just fucking crying and shit. People were worried. They're like, bro, I had never posted a girlfriend in my life on social media ever. You're talking about 12 years into social media.
Got you, bro.
I posted her and people were like freaking out. She's on my main page. And my family's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know her.
In a relationship.
Like, people are scrolling like, who's this chick? And they're like, oh, Louis got a girlfriend. My tias, what? Baby, Louis got a girlfriend. My tia Dottie, I love her. But that's it. That's how I say it, I bet. I end up doing a song about it called I'll Figure It Out. Okay. So we used to go to the Starbucks there, right? And, bro, I'm trying to get my drink on it, you know what I'm saying? I go there in the morning. Oh, where's your other half? I'm like,
Chinga, I got to find a different Starbucks.
I'm like, you know what? You just ruined my business here. So I wrote a song about it. Starbucks in the morning don't wake me up like it used to. All the workers in the drive-thru, ass or whatever. I don't care. Anyway, I'm all depressed now. No, so I wrote that record, and Pooh from Kiss FM, which was on Billy the Kid show, ends up calling me and was like, yo, I sent this song to Charlie, who is a manager for Big and Rich, man. He ends up on my phone like in 24 hours and was like, I swear to you, I'm in Bluetooth with Juan the John, my engineer at the time, and we're in the car, and he goes, Louie, if I give you an opportunity, you're going to fuck this up. And I was like, this doctor, you know who you talk to? Who the fuck is it? And Juan was like, looking at me like, damn. I was like, honestly, 4 years ago, I would have, but, you know, here I'm ready to work. Fast forward, he was like, do you know what you are? And I was like, what? He was like, he goes, look, don't get it wrong. There's plenty of Latino country singers. For sure. I'm going to send you some. He goes, there's not one like you. He goes, even if they wanted to be, he goes, they don't have your story. I hate to say it. He goes, but you've been through some fucked up shit. And I remember being offended at one point, because I remember at one point it was cool. They would tell parts of my story to kind of like build the narrative. Of course. And now it's kind of like invasive, you know, like, and you know, because as a man, like these things have what made me. Sure. So sometimes it's kind of hard to wear those out, like when I'm out in public and stuff. But that's what it was. He was like intrigued about, and he opened this world to me of all these other Latino country singers, right? But I didn't sound or feel like them. Right. You know,
they were still doing very traditional country.
Yeah, man. Like shout out to Frank Ray, people like that. Very talented, you know. But he was an ex-cop putting cuffs on people. I'm an ex-con getting cuffs on me every other week.
Different story.
That's what it was, and I ain't tripping, man. I still got scars from it, and I'll never lose them. But you know what the thing is? It's a reminder, and it reminds me that I'm nowhere like them. You know, that's I want to drink, I want to smoke. That's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not how I live every fucking day.
Right now, yeah.
Well, but God damn,
when you're on tour, baby.
When you look at when you're on tour, that's when I'm probably less, if anything, because they're like, they know, like I can't really talk loud. Everybody's having to bend over, and I'm the shortest dude at the crew, so everybody's like, well, I got to talk right here, so I can save my voice, you know. But you know, because you always want to put on a good show for the people,
for sure. Yeah.
I noticed that it was different when I started talking about what I'm talking about. Fast forward, I've got all these people in the industry now on my side, and it's one of those things where like they've all gotten to learn me because. And I don't like to say it like that, but I'm very blunt with people. I've been, put it this way, the 32-year-old me, hates what they did to the 21-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid in the industry.
Yeah.
And
you just don't want to let it happen again.
it's not going to.
Right.
And so it's and it's back to that thing we talked about. One of the things my dad had taught me was if you got a problem, fix it. Someone's way, move them. And that's another thing that fucked my whole life up, because that's not how you live life. God, that's not how you live life.
Hey, but he instilled that in you early, and
that's
you were
what,
kind of running with it.
And you know what? I've adapted that and made it my own in a different way.
I like that.
The people that have hurt me, and the people, like, I don't go back to hurt them. I just use them for the people that I'm about to encounter. And I use them as an experience. Like, you know what? I'm never going to fall into a piece of paperwork under nobody. I'm nobody's puppet, dog. I'll be the first one to cut them strings off. And what I do with them next, you ain't gonna like. But I'm just been to the point where that's where we're at. I fought so hard to have these people here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are my friends, and I'll tell you straight up, in the beginning, nobody wanted to check. No, man, if I'm making money, we're all making money.
Yeah,
that's where it is. And
that's what's up.
Like I said, one table, you might find one that's got one leg, but
it's hard to find people that loyal, man. It's hard to find people like that to have a squad.
It hurts. Yeah.
Good,
oh, trust me, these guys will tell you, like, some of the guys like Hollywood and stuff, like, that have been around with me before, like the music stuff, like, started going again, like when I was involved in certain things, they'll tell you we were 20 deep at one point. Man, I don't talk to none of those guys no more. And they know, don't talk to me. And that's where we're at, man. I've changed my life, and I've changed my ways, and I've changed the people that surround me, and I have to, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids are getting older, and like, now I'm freaking out, like, oh my God, you know. So
like, what do I got to teach my children to make sure that they don't
my
fall
son's
into that
already
same?
My son's already starting to fall into certain things to get me word, you know. So
I understand that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Great stuff, man. So with that, you're into country music now, right? You got this subgenre of country music, if we want to call it that.
Right.
Hip hop, R&B.
Country R&B.
Country R&B. All right, cool. We can definitely call it that. With all the hate comments, right? All the people are like, oh man, this shit ain't country. Go back to Mexico. All this bullshit, right? Yeah, I've seen them, bro. So, and then you have an album called Country My Way.
Country My Way.
Right? Explain that to me. What's Country Louie's way?
How you gonna hear it when you hear me? Like, for example, and I like to bring it up, there was a guy at the show, you know, out of all the fans, you know, they were here, they were showing so much love. There's that one guy, but it's dope because he said it how I've tried to like break it down to people. I'm not a country act, you know, I'm not a necessary TikTok act, but if you want to call it that, I'm not mad at that either.
Whatever,
you know, no, it doesn't bother me. Like, he said that he was mad he had to pay. He comes in, whatever, and he's like, I paid for a band, not some TikTok guy. The only thing I was offended that he was in one of my people's faces, and you know I was, you know, that's the only thing that hurt us. But I was like, you know, like I could try to tell people, it's like, you know, it's different. But I forgot the question. But yeah, pretty much like
Country Louie's way.
Country Louie's way. So Country My Way, man. It's I grew up on 90s R&B. So like my mom like grew up even like with Mary and stuff like that, all those cadences, even like Mariah, all those like in my head the whole time, like grooving. My mom was a dancer, like just everything meshed into that, the soul music. I grew up on George Strait, Garth Brooks. Like I grew up here banging the guitars. There's pictures of me in a diaper and a cowboy hat and boots, no shirt and a guitar. You know, it's like it's just like all meshed into I guess the country Texas thing. Put it this way, I tell people like this, I love this. This is where I get to get the hate. It's like modern day Tejano music. Ooh, everybody's gonna be like,
modern day Tejano music.
You want me to explain this?
Yes, please. Because I know the comments are gonna be like, what the fuck did he just say?
Hell yeah. And they're gonna be like, y'all let him say that in San Antonio? Where's that fool at? I'm like, shit. No, so check this out. It's not Tejano music. I'm just pulling strings right now with people. So I'm just pissing them off. No, so check this out. I like to say it like this because about 20 years ago, if you were to ask somebody that said they're Tejano or Chicano or whatever, you'd be like, yo, do you speak Spanish? They'd been like, no.
No, no, mexicano.
Yeah, it's not mexicano, pendejo. It's okay, mijo.
It's okay.
¿Por qué, why? Are you stupid? You know, ¿por qué, why your man no teach you?
That's always the question. Your parents,
Guess
tu
what?
papá no te enseñó.
Sí, ¿tu mamá dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? No son de México, ¿verdad?
No, okay. It's okay, mijo.
Exactly.
So you're from here. Like, now you ask them, do you speak Spanish? No. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we're 4 or 5 generations in.
Exactly, yeah.
But the Tejanos back then, that was their music. That's why they called it Tejano music.
Right.
Right?
Makes sense.
The Tejano now, he's a little different.
Yeah.
He might look like me. He might have been to prison. He might have had some homeboys that got him in there right now. Yeah. But he likes country music. And if Mike Jones came on right after, he's gonna keep that same head. But we're in a different culture. And what I'm getting at on that is this: now that we're 5 generations into America, right, and we're not so attached to our Mexican culture, right? What do? We attach to other ones. Yeah. So that's why when I'm attached to this hip hop R&B culture, I grew up in black neighborhoods too. Yeah. Oh, I grew up. I'm the only Mexican playing ball in prison with all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like these are my. That's just how I grew up. Yeah. So when you take that culture, you take the R&B, the hip hop, the breakdance, and all those cultures, being in the streets, that's just what it was. Yeah. And then you come with the country, you realize everybody had a little bit of all of that. And now they still do. That's just what it is. We're so far into being 4 generations of Texas. I like that. Man, shit. That's
a great way of looking at it.
My son part white. Who would have guessed that? I love it. My baby. Yeah.
He look like you though?
Yeah, man.
You can't deny him, huh?
Man, all my babies got a part of me and a part of their mom. But my one twin is the one named after me.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, right?
He looks just like you.
Yeah. Man, yeah, it's weird. And he's like, it's weird. That's cute, man. They're all better than me. So it's beautiful.
I love it, man. I can feel the love for your kids, man, just the way you talk, man. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit. I wrote 3 songs down and I want to talk about. So the one I like the most, man, is Just Be Me, man. That song you just vibe with that song. Yeah.
Man, I was going through the whole, man, should I do this, like the hate thing, but like at the same time, at that point in my life, I think I was still trying to figure it out. Oh, I had just beat my cases too, so I'm still like kind of relying on people, you know, and like because I had put all my stuff in storage. I closed my apartment. Like I had tried to figure it out. My own mother's wedding was pushed back because of me going back to jail, bro. You know what that feels like? You gotta feel like it makes you realize.
I know how that feels like, man. I can imagine.
Thanks, bro. He's like, no, that's all you.
I'm just saying, I can imagine, bro. Trying to empathize with you.
I was told like, yo, no, yeah, the country thing, bro, it sounds good. You know, just do it like this though. And I'm like, I don't like doing it like that.
It goes back to like, nah, man, I'm tired of people telling me
I can't help it that I'm different, man. I can't help I'm not the same. And that's just what it was. And it was like, I want to just go somewhere like, fuck all these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know where the people are because they're online. They like the music. But wherever they are, I want to go there and just be me. Yeah. And that's what the record was about. You know, I just felt judged by everybody at the same time. Like, man, he's always doing this. He's always doing that. And it's like, man, I don't know. You just kind of get older and realize that there's some things you're just going to have to accept. You know, because when you were going through those things, all those people that put you through this pain that you're still judging them for, they were going through something too.
Definitely.
And now that you become their age, you start to look. You still lash out. It's going to happen.
Right.
But it was just a point for me where I was just tipped over. I was pissed off and I was scared to go back because the other guy in me he's still there. Yeah. And
you still fight him off.
Man, you have no idea. It's hard. It's very hard because selfish ways just hard to get rid of, man.
Oh, for sure, man.
And I was just
that's our innate, you know, that's how we are. Everybody's selfish at the core, you know, right? We're always fighting that selfishness.
And I believe that, but man, mine was bad. It still is. My ego, sometimes I have to, if it wasn't for my mother, like I'd be, and that sometimes my people, they check me, but I have to tell them like, man, this industry is so fucked off. If they see me as the weak one, they're gonna look at the whole squad weak.
For sure.
And we're not a weak squad.
For sure.
But it was a boiling point for me where I was like, I just want to drink and I just want to smoke. Yeah. I don't want to talk to nobody. I want to hit the road. I ain't got no license, but I'm fucking going. And I didn't at the time. Oh, fool, I couldn't even get that shit fixed. Like, man, I'm in Chris Detroit's back house going live at this point, like figuring it out, man. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna put my bread together. And I got my apartment. I was about to get off parole.
Nice.
And I got off parole and I got that apartment. Oh, I got that apartment, did that one, got out. And then I was like, let me get something else again. And I got this new situation. And God took care of me after that, bro. I'm telling you, like when I finally like was like, you don't get it, like my lights were off. Yeah. Like,
oh man.
Like almost, like not even like 8 months ago. Like,
damn.
No, like bro, my electricity was off. I had one phone call. I could have fixed all that, been good for the month, right? But I would have had to go do a couple things, take a couple, one shit, right? I did it, and I broke down, and I because I told myself I got in that car again. You're going backwards. Like I don't know how, but it just feels backwards. Like an hour. I filmed myself like just like venting. I was like, man, watch this video a year from now, whatever, you know. I run out of memory. That's how even sadder it was. And it's funny because I couldn't upload another video. I was trying to watch it or something like that because I had no Wi-Fi now.
Yeah.
My electricity's off.
Oh my God.
And I just laid there and I started to go to sleep. And I said, I'm not going. I'm not going to go do what I want to do for that money.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up because my lights had turned on. My money from my sales had got pushed into my PayPal, and they tried to charge my thing again, and it went through. I didn't even know that money was there.
Wow.
And after that, I said, man, that's my first light. I want more.
Yeah.
And I kept going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I did because, man, yeah, it was just going bad for me. And it got to the point where, you know, that's where it was. So that song was just basically that.
I like that, man. I think a lot of people can relate to it, right? Even if, I mean, now though, obviously know the story. I'm sure you've told that story a couple times in different places, but I think a lot of people just listening to that song, they relate to it. Like I relate to it, man. When I'm jamming that song, I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And it's crazy because that built me a lot of the male fans. Like,
oh, for sure, yeah.
Oh, that's the one. And then Alcoholic. They're like, damn, fool, I'm fucked up all the time, too.
That's the next one on the list.
Gotcha.
I'm glad you brought it up, man. Because just the opening of that music video, bro.
I'm getting kicked out the bar.
Bro. And then the phone call.
Yeah.
The voicemail.
That was my real son, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I got boys, too, and I know what it's like whenever you're not there, and then how much you're the only one they're looking for. You're the only one they're looking for in the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that song, just the opening of that video before the song even freaking starts, hits me. So I know how many fathers are out there are getting hit with just that one.
Man, that one was a hard one for me because I was like, man, you're opening up a big wound. Let it be known. So around the time I had beat my cases, they gave me labor detail, right?
Okay.
I go out to celebrate after labor detail.
Come on, man.
Caught a whole nother case.
Shit.
It was the bottle. I couldn't put it down, and I still can't, but I don't go that far no more, you know? And they say, you know, the whole comparison to my father, I hated it, but I loved it. In the good ways and the bad ways. My abuelita was like, mijo, out of all my grandbabies, you remind me of your tios the most. And I'm like, fuck.
Explain that to me, man. Like when you say I hate it, but I love it. Like what's the part you hate?
I love my family so much, but my uncles weren't the best examples. Everybody was either in prison or was definitely you know, had their own flaws. And I don't want to talk down on my family because they lived in a different they lived in a different time
for sure.
And they came from different situations, from a different country.
Yeah,
you know?
I respect that.
I understand it, but in a way I don't. But they wanted me to. It was always like the comparison to my dad, and it got so bad to where they compared me to him in every way. So when I realized that time when I caught this case, I remember telling my mom, I can't stay out of jail. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm made for this shit. You know, like, I don't like that. So I was like, man, this is it. Like, you've got to stop, dude. And anytime I fall into real pain, I write music. And I wrote that song like that. And a lot of these songs, dude, like, my engineers will tell you, man, I probably spend more time crying than I do recording.
Do you?
No, yeah, I'll sit there by the mic and I'll be like, all right, give me a second.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, let's do it.
But there's so much emotion in your music, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know like the music is written really well, it's produced really well, so like you can vibe to it all the time. But when you literally listen to the lyrics, I can feel it, bro. And whenever I wrote down like, do you write your own music? I knew that was gonna be a yes. Yeah. Like I know this ain't nobody else's shit.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. Alcoholic was a story pretty much about myself and my dad. And so before my dad died, his dad died. So my great grandfather dies. My grandfather goes to the funeral. He dies.
Shit.
Same week.
Yeah.
On the way back. Then my dad dies a year and a half later, 2 years.
Damn.
And he was at the bar drunk all the time, drinking about his dad. You know, he was always heard about that.
And that was the only way he knew how to fix it to deal with it.
That was what the third verse was about. I'm just like my dad is what they say till the day he passed away. And I don't want to go the same. Lord, come and take away all of the pain, all of the drinks, all of the things I cannot change. Yeah. Yeah. So
I love it.
That was just me letting go.
I love the emotion. Obviously, I mean, I don't love the situation. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Yeah, it's a fucked up thing, but it's a beautiful one. You know?
Yeah,
it is. But
I think it's a good one. In a sense, like me personally, right? Like I'm 34. You know, I haven't been anywhere near what you've been going through, but you know, my dad was an alcoholic. He went through the whole rehab thing. I had to go see him there and all that. And luckily, he's doing a lot better now, right? He's definitely changed his life. But people say the same thing about me as far as like the drinking problem. So that song. I know if it affects me, right, and I haven't been anywhere near what you've been through, I can only imagine how many other men and fathers out there are listening to that song, relating to it. And I think it's going to do some good for some men, right? You're saying like, damn, I'm not the only one going through this shit.
I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was hearing the story from the guys, because man, I would find myself writing back paragraphs, dog, because these, like, man, like, I literally remember, it would remind me in prison when I would play, because I used to play in the band in prison, right? And I would do Never Would Have Made It by Marvin Sapp, and a lot of these guys, when they'd come to pray, a part of it is you had to pray too. You couldn't just be in the band. Right, yeah. So my line would throw the whole church, dog, but they all had a piece of paper, and some of them would say, yo, when you sang that song, it reminded me of my mother. I hadn't talked to her in 20 years. I wrote her. She wrote me back. And this is the first time she spoke to me. I get home in 3 years.
Wow.
I thank you. And stuff like that was at the time was bigger to me than even hearing myself on the radio. It was so lifting. I was like, me singing? That's all I did was sing, you know? And that, you know, bringing all that here, you know, so like, damn, I lost track.
No, continue on. No, so we were just talking about the impact that you that your
I would find myself
making.
writing these guys back because it reminded me of those letters I would get. And so I ended up just realizing, like, there's a whole nother wave of people that would love my music that are like me. Now, honestly, you know what it is? Once I became a man, knew who I was, and started talking about who I was, all the other vatos that are like me, dog, heard it. It's kind of like a lonesome whistle, like only the lonely can hear it, you know? So.
That's 100%, man, yeah. And I always tell people, man, never underestimate the impact you're making on people's lives, you know, whether it be good or bad, right? And so a lot of times we feel that what we're doing doesn't have a tremendous impact, right? But you're singing songs, you might, at first, you know, in the beginning of your career, you were thinking, oh, I just want to be an entertainer. But man, you're helping, you know, shape lives, you know, influence people in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So good stuff, man. I love that. New song just dropped, right? I Really Don't Give a Damn.
I really don't give a damn.
Yo, that's
sometimes I don't. Most of the times I don't.
That's a dope ass song too. Tell me about that one.
So honestly, that song was actually probably written a lot easier than you think, because so shout out to the Kitchen in Dallas. They set us up once a week there. I'm also once a week over at Music and Focus, and also record out of Austin. Shout out to Mellow House.
Nice.
And Music and Focus. And so they Chris Detroit calls me. He's like, yo, Brody, we go in the studio.
Is he laying back there? Where's he at?
Oh, Chris outside.
Okay.
So Chris calls me. He's like, yo, you know, we're going to the studio. I'm going to pick you up. I'm already getting ready in the morning. You know, I'm doing my vocal warm-ups. We went to bed early, got ready, heading to the studio. And we're going through these beats from Jake Angel. Shout out to Jake Angel, which is crazy because he's blowing it up so big. Like, everybody knows who he is. We chop it up. Like, he's like, hey, Mike, cool. You know, your songs, man, they're really doing good. You know, the views, they're great. I'm like, man, this is dope. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, man, I just want to, like, talk to you just so I can hear you more. This is fucking weird. So he ends up having this dope beat, and it was like with the harmonica and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, you know what?
That intro's badass, man.
Yeah, and you know, I wanted to flex on him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just talk shit. Because, you know, the thing is like, it being in this country genre, bro, what it was is a lot of times we pull up to events or something like that, they expect a certain guy because they expect country. Right. And we try to tell people, like, this ain't a country act, bro. Right. Like, you're not finna we finna party. Yeah. You know, not that country acts don't party. Right. It's a different kind of party.
It's a different type of,
So it got to so I was like, you know what, May 1990. The song's really about me being on the run. That's what the song's about. It's like
that's all that intro, right? Yeah.
Oh, you saw the video intro? Yeah. So I posted it yesterday. We've gotten a lot of crazy like calls. They're like, man, y'all made a movie, and I'm like, man, wait till you see the video. We're dropping it today. So.
Is that today? Okay, cool. So I was looking for it. I was like, man, I don't think it dropped yet, but I saw that little intro, the teaser they put.
Yeah. So they got me and Chris in like this old school jail. My boy George Red. Shout out to George Red, dope ass comedian, dog. Super dope comedian, good friend of mine for a long time. He ends up doing the intro, and he's like, you know, he plays the cop, you know,
on the cart.
Yeah. So in prison, my name was Palacios, you know, and I'll be like, Palacios, what I said, damn it. And I'm like, oh.
You know who the fuck you are?
Yeah. Inmate, you know, offender. Come here, boy. Hey, come here, boy. Oh, I hated being in Texas prison. Man. The whole cop on with the gun. What? Man, I had to lie my way out of that. They put me on whole squad. I'm outside of it. I had to learn cadences. Used to flip burgers at Mickey D's. Now work whole squad TDC.
Yeah, I did 10 years in the Army, man. I know all about that.
Bro, I lied. They were like, you should have told the major you used to work in restaurants in the world. He would have put you in the kitchen. I said, what? I put in I-60. I got in. They said you had experience. I said, So y'all didn't tell me. I said, my family own restaurants. I said, what? Bitch, well, I'll do anything. They put me in the kitchen. I ended up in the scullery washing dishes for another reason.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, the song was about being on the run. It was like about just pretty much saying like, I don't give a damn. You know, like I'm fed up. You know, like like little things, man. People calling all the time and just nicking and knacking and dicking and shit like that. You know, so it was like just a fun way of saying like, boom. And you know what's funny? The whistle in the song, Bro, so that's Chris whistling. I initially went in there just making fun music, you know? Man, I spent 20 minutes getting lightheaded and I just couldn't hit it. I was like, and by then they were like, you good? I'm like, no, give me 20 seconds. I'm like, the air's thin in here.
Give me a coffee.
Yeah, I need coffee. So I go, Chris, just go in there and whistle. I had Chris whistle for like 10 minutes.
Oh,
right?
man.
To the beat.
Yeah.
Oh, dog. It didn't take me long. I started chopping it. I found... I said, grab that, put it, and we made his whistle out of little things, and then we EQ'd it, made it sound really cool. But
it does sound really good. Yeah,
we made a little movie, man. Shout out to Mondo and Whiskey and Honey. Shout out to Whiskey and Honey dancers, man. They ended up doing the video for us. So nice. Mondo and Taylor jumped in the video, and they did what's it called? A candle? What? Did a candlestick. I kept calling it a candle dip. They kept doing some candle shit, like where he throws her in the air. It was cool, you know? And like, so we got that on the footage where I bump into him and we're like, what? And I flip her. Like, it's cool. It's like all kinds of stuff.
I'm excited to see it.
I kept the handcuffs at the end of the video with the other girl. It's cool. You'll see that too. There's all kinds of fun shit in there, man. It was just really we end up running with the inmate outfits. We take them off and find people's clothes. It's fun. It's cool.
It looks like it's going to be a dope video. Yeah. I'm excited for it to come out, man. That's what's up. So we're going to quickly just change topics right here, man.
Okay.
Dallas-Fort Worth area. After a gig, what's open late to grub on? What's the move? I know y'all did Whataburger last night. Is there anything? I mean, there's Waffle House out there, right?
Waffle Heezy, man. We hit Waffle House a lot, man.
That's a good spot.
We even did that in Nashville. That was eventful. Yeah.
Is that the go-to? Is that the go-to?
Man, honestly, man. So at night, I'm gonna be honest with you, Fort Worth, we don't really, you really don't want to go out eating like that out there unless you just want some issues.
Well, I mean, as far as like picking up food, though, I mean, like if you, because I'm assuming the squad eats like after.
Honestly, man, after a gig, dog, man, we all going home and laying it down, homeboy. Like, I'm not being funny. We already know.
Yeah.
Past 2. Yeah. We know what to do.
I got you.
I'm going to the room, you know. But no, like, bro, we're big Pluckers fans. So like, as a squad, we go to like yesterday. The move was Pico de Gallo. I told my mom, I was like, let's go to Pico de Gallo. Yeah. The guisada's dope. You know what I'm saying? But like me and Chris, like, we're real big on like, hey, let's go find a spot and check it out. Yesterday we went to that Mark's some shit. What was it called? Mark's outing, and that was really good. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, no, we like to go eat tacos and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, menudo, hell yeah. Like, honestly, you know what our thing is? Everybody waking up hungover and then doing something.
Hitting like a breakfast spot.
Yeah, like me and Adrian and Chris, we go to Dos Molinas a lot, which is a dope. Okay, watch. So in other words, you want the hot spots.
That's what I'm trying to get
Dos Molinas, Chewy's, Adrian, Joe T. Garcia's. What else?
Look at him. He's excited about it.
What else? Adrian knows. No, Adrian is like, you don't get it. Adrian's like guru in Fort Worth of everywhere. Yoke downtown. Shout out to them. They just gave us a free meal too. That was so dope.
Okay.
What other ones?
He's like, nah, that place sucks.
When you say Chewy, we mean the...
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, she's right. Thank you. So Chewy's restaurant in Fort Worth, we mean the one Fort Worth family owned Chewy's.
Okay.
It's not the chain. Nah, not Sean.
I was gonna say
not the one where Sean's the manager and he's gonna make sure the Griselda makes sure your enchiladas are cooked just how they need to be.
Did you like those, sir?
Were they great?
Would you like another Dos Equis?
Yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás? You know, that guy, you know, that's you know, so we got one more. We got to throw one more in there. Some Fort Worth hometown food. What? Juanitos? Oh yeah, Juanitos. Even Benitos in Diamond Hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man.
We're definitely gonna tag them on these videos, man. You got to show them some love. Good stuff, man. If we were to open up, you listen to Spotify, Apple Music. What's your go-to?
I go
platform?
to Spotify.
Is that what you listen to? If we were to open your Spotify right now, what you listening to?
Shit. Kojo, Luke Combs. I like Kevin Gates. Man, let me try to. Man, there's all kind. Man, I listen to all kinds of stuff. And you want me to tell you the truth though? And everybody will tell you, bro, I'm a constant worker. Like I'll literally be listening to my unreleased music and go, and I'll go to my notes and be like, at 3 minutes and 2 seconds, take that shit out. It sounded stupid. Yeah, you know, like just stuff like that. I'm constantly working. I love that. I'm listening to beats. I'm listening to other people's music that I know. I'm listening to songs that that my own friends, I listen to Tones songs. I'll be like,
You got
they're
some
in my
bangers
playlist.
too, yeah.
So Tones got a song called Getting Over You.
Yep.
I've played that
That's
for
a
a couple
badass
of my
song.
friends. So like if you look up my playlist, see Shawn Maker's records, you know what I'm saying? My
Yep.
boy Chris Detroit, just, yeah. So, but I mean, even, R&B shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In case the ladies are over, Sex Playlist 2022. It's crazy. It has all the emojis, right?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
I'll
Look at this
follow
guy.
that shit.
Look at this guy.
Oh man! All right, so getting to know you now, I can tell you're very independent, right? You do your things, you do the thing your way. Is there any artist that you'd love to collaborate with that you haven't had the opportunity to yet?
Like big period?
Yeah.
Oh man, if I could do a song with I would like to work with Bruno Mars.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I think we would just go in there and just
I can see that.
like funk some shit up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I would just he's a very talented artist that I look at. Like the guy plays every instrument. Vocally, he's phenomenal. He writes his music. He writes other people's music. You never see him. That's gangster. Like it's just super talented.
Yeah.
Throughout this world, like entertainer. Like
he's incredible.
I can only
He's
imagine
incredible,
being that. I can only wish to be half that. That's dope. So, but
Okay.
working with him, female wise, I don't know, but it would be really cool to work with like a Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone just dope like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's awesome, brother. So that's pretty much all the questions I have for you, man. Is there anything else that you want to add to anybody watching, to the followers you already have, to the people who are just catching this, like who the fuck is this Louie the Singer guy? I kind of like him, kind of hate him. What do you want people to know?
Man, if you don't like the first song that you hear, stick around. There might be one that you might, you know what I'm saying? But all I can say, man, I don't know. It's just hard because everybody likes what they like. But long story short, man, I'm just a Mexicano trying to make it. It ain't nothing. I ain't nobody to tell anybody who they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing me. It's kind of hard to explain. It's
Yeah.
just, I'm finally just comfortable chilling.
I like that.
stress a lot, but shit, it's cool. It's
part of it, right?
I'd rather stress and be blessed than just be stressed and broke. I
like
guess,
that.
'cause I used to be that a lot.
That sounds like a song in the making right there.
That sounds beautiful, right? Send me this. He's like, I'm finna get my cook. But I appreciate it, man. Hell yeah, no.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk with you, man. I know you guys are super busy. You guys are moving around all over. Yeah, man, I really appreciate the opportunity.
Hell yeah,
it was
thank
really
you.
good getting to know you, man.
Gracias, brother, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Houston, Texas is next. And then we got Pflugerville, Abilene, Burke, Portland. Man.
All over the place.
And that's just in the next 2 months.
Hell yeah, man. I wish you all success in the world, brother.
Gracias, brother. Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching. This is 210. Peace.
Man, thank you, bro.
Hey, no, thank you, man. That was awesome.
Thank you, bro.
That was awesome.